How did that Oregon game end
Oregon
up?
won.
They won?
Yeah.
Okay. And you're waiting for one more?
San Jose State.
Yeah. So far, what are you at for today?
Ballpark, like, up 115, I think.
115?
Yeah.
And if the last game comes through also, then
120, 125.
120. Yeah. So you were at I had you at actually at 639,000, I believe, coming into today. So this will push
Not
you.
including the.
Yeah, there's additional ones as well that we're not even counting.
Yeah.
But just being on the very conservative side, you'll be breaking 700 grand today, perhaps even 750. Tomorrow you've got a real shot at $1 million. So what are you planning on?
Because I'm doing straight bets, just going for the conservative grind right now, and don't want to beat the bookies so bad, the online people, that they don't pay or quit. So plan on taking about 125,000 in Las Vegas over the counter tomorrow. Figure we have another hot day when might, out of that kind of action, might win another 50. That would seem reasonable. Yeah. Would have been there.
If you weren't afraid of the sports book not paying out,
could have beat the online book for, I think, $1.5 million, $2 million in the last 10 days.
Yeah.
But what's the point when they won't pay that much?
Yeah. So you have to purposely slow down.
Yep.
And also at the are you afraid that they could also limit your action?
No, but they automatically limit. There's only so much you can take on, especially on totals and stuff like that. 5,000 is the limit.
What kind of limits is that now? Is it still 5?
Yeah, 5
risk?
on totals, and on key games you can go 10 or 20. I should have taken more on Wisconsin tonight for sure. That was, to me, really obvious.
The straight up record. What's how'd you do today?
Okay, we went 6-2 in the morning. Then the 12:30, 1 o'clock games, we went 6-0. So that's 12-2. And then for the rest of the day, I think we went like 6-4. So 18-6, which is 75% win rate.
Right. And parlays, how'd you do today on those?
Didn't take any parlays, but I gave out parlays, and I think that between 6 and 7, maybe 8 parlays hit today for the players.
Yeah.
Now, a couple days ago, I took a 2-team parlay for 3,500, came back 12,000 something, rolled 8 of the 12, which means I was still profitable even if I lost the next day's round robins. 8 of the 12 into 2 round robins, first halves and games, easily won all 6 bets. So hit those 2 round robins. So it turned 3,500 in one day to the following day, 24 hours later, was 40,000. And then took the 40,000 today, bet a bunch of $5,000 straight up bets. And like I said, it hit, I think, 75% or so of those. So 3,500 into 95 or 100,000 in 48 hours.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. Is this something you experienced in the past on any kind of a frequent basis? Is this familiar to you?
Yeah. Very, very, very familiar.
In the old days, where would you be at this point if?
I think this would have been a $1.5 to $2 million run.
Yeah.
Just off the sports alone, and again, it's a lot of plays, averaging around 75% win rate. And right now, our team is very comfortable with all the teams that are playing right now. Have a really strong understanding of how well they're playing, and both college and pro, and expect to be able to continue a very high win rate going forward.
How long do you see this streak lasting? Where do you see the dollar amount going to go up to by the end of the run?
Well, it's already close to $1 million if you counted some of the other ones that were wins, but we didn't document them properly, and we're very careful about that. If we don't count them. So, but taking that aside, what are we at now? 7?
Yeah, we're at
750.
Close to 750 if the last game comes through tonight.
Yeah, San Jose State.
Yeah.
I think with the amount of action we can spread around now, we should be at over $1 million by the end of the month easily. Yep.
Yeah. So once you get to that point, it's going to be really running all over the town. You're setting up, from what I understand, different sportsbook accounts across town.
The MGM's really pushing their sports apps now, and the high limits, so we're going to give them a run, and William Hill. So you'll start seeing some action from online accounts in Las Vegas more, and hopefully, if I stick to straight bets mainly, there won't be too much problem in getting down a lot of action, because it's hopefully their ideas are going to get someone to bet the other side, and they just take the juice. They'll never let me pound them on the round robins anymore, so we've decided to just take a lot of straight ups and go that way.
So once you set up all these accounts, starting in a couple weeks or later this month, what kind of action are you looking at daily?
Oh, on a Saturday or Sunday when there's a lot of games, I average probably 150 to 200,000. On a weekday where there's only a couple games, maybe 20 or 30.
Yeah. So when the patterns align and you're hitting most of your bets, like what you've been doing recently in this run, you could easily cash out hundreds of thousands in a
we
single
went
day,
over
right?
100 today.
Yeah.
We went over 100 yesterday. And
So how do you feel? How do you feel going up 100,000 on a day like this? Is it just numb to you, or are you excited?
No, I'm not excited.
Yeah. This to you is just still a small.
It's just numbers.
comparison,
Just numbers. I look at the games that we took and trying to analyze whether we made any bad plays, and you look at the games that we lost, like North Carolina, they were winning with a minute to go, so that wasn't a bad bet, even though they were down for a while. They came back and were up 14. That was one of 2 losers in the morning. The other one was close. Then we went 6-0 in the midday, and only one of the 6 was close. That was Texas Tech. The rest of them were pretty easy wins. In fact, really easy. We had SMU tonight up 21-0 against Tulsa. Felt pretty comfortable they would hold that lead. It was basically a pick 'em bet, and they just had a horrible second half and a lot of mistakes. So we lost that one, but we came back on the Oregon game, so that kind of balanced that out. Wisconsin was really easy. North Carolina State against Florida State was really easy. There was a lot of very easy games. I was telling some people tonight that I thought there were some games that were about 95% likely to win, and turn out that maybe more likely than even that.
Yeah. If winning 100 grand in a day is just numbers and doesn't really feel exciting to you, is there a number that would make it exciting to you, or are you?
No, because I went on that one run, 4.2 million in 4 days, and I was numb on that one too.
Yeah.
I think I hit 92 out of 100 picks.
Yeah.
But I have an assistant now that is really, really sharp, that's helping me, and so it's getting a lot of different angles to look at, and when we both agree, we're pretty much batting 1,000. So you might see me starting to bet more on the ones that we agree on, and just flat bets on the ones that either she likes or I like.
Yeah. So, what's your plan on the round robins? Are you planning on going?
We have
back
so
to
much
heavy again?
money to work with now that we don't need round robins. To, like today, we didn't even use any parlays or round robins. It still went over 100.
Yeah.
So when I'm starting with small money, like I do at times, or did a couple days ago, I started with 3,500. Then I'm going to use parlays and round robins, because if betting straight up, you're going to do bet 1,000 a game. It's take forever to win 100. So I used parlays and round robins to get up to 40, and then I went to straight bets.
Yeah. So mainly straight bets going
from now on, yeah, because there's plenty of available tickets. One of the things I don't like to do is I don't like to dip into cash or go to the bank and cash a lot. I don't like doing that, so that's why I start with small money and try to run it up, and then once it's up, then I can go to high straight bet amounts.
Once you get to $1 million, how long do you think it'll take for you to get onto a multi-million-dollar run?
Well, then at that point, assuming that MGM and William Hill and some of the other ones are going to let me continue to play, and if I stick to straight bets, I could move the average straight bet up to about 25,000. And at that point, a day like today, where I was betting 5 or 10, would turn into a $300,000 or $400,000 win. And I don't know that they would care if it's straight and it's games that they're getting two-way action on.
Now, if someone's following along and they don't have the kind of bankroll to bet at the amounts that you do, then what's their strategy?
When I'm hot, it doesn't matter how you bet. You can bet round robins, you can bet parlays, you can bet straight up. Whatever you do, you're going to win, because I'm hitting at such a high percentage. Like today, there was all those parlays that won. Any way anyone took them today, you would have won. Yesterday, you would have won. And in the last 10 days, you would have won. So the key is that I continue to work with the systems and my assistant and come up with really solid plays so that everyone wins, no matter how they do it. If they're going to start with small money, then they can take round robins, build it up. Or maybe someone's just trying to make an extra 2 or 3, 4,000 a month, and they can bet 100 or 200 a game and get there doing that. It just depends on what people's goals are. But one thing about the Whale and the Champ is we're very transparent and realistic, and don't do like some of the other people I've heard about that promise you the world and don't even bet the same bets that they're handing out to people. I think that's really unfair. If you're truly trying to make money off this, you can. There's a lot of money to be made betting sports, but you have to be realistic about it.
Yeah, and I think a lot of followers really appreciate the fact that you've got skin in the game, and you're riding along on all the streets, and you're feeling all the ups and downs with them.
Yeah.
So you're not leaving anyone behind.
Yeah.
Do you feel more confident about your ability now because you have some help with your assistant and everything else compared to the old days? Yeah.
No, the old days I used to spend a lot of time looking at the games, and I would watch many of them, and for a while there I just didn't have the time to do that.
Yeah.
So I would pick based off statistical analysis more than fundamental analysis. Now we're watching more games, and she's watching a lot of games, and so we're able to pick up things by watching them that you can't if you don't watch them.
Yeah.
And right now, I made a comment today that was silly, but I said, I'm really looking for the teams that score a lot and can easily move the ball versus teams that struggle on scoring. And she said, yeah, that's like saying 2 + 2 is 4. But it really, if you look at it, there are a lot of teams that struggle to move the ball right now and have trouble scoring. and there's other teams that just don't have any trouble scoring. So when you get one versus the other and the spread is reasonable, then it sets up for a pretty easy win.
Yeah, and the results are showing. Once this streak is over, you're going to be on house money for a long time.
Forever.
Yeah.
I've been on house money since I was a kid.
So if somebody was jumping on the train right now and they tail the whale for the last couple of weeks, they would be pretty much set for for years to come. And that's pretty comforting to know.
Yeah, and again, you do want to be on house money. You want to be to the point where you've already locked up some money, you put it away, and you're playing on money that you just won. So have a bad day, which obviously we always will have bad days at times. It's not money that you earned outside of sports. It's something that you made on sports and ended up giving a little bit of it back. That's where we want to be.
Yeah, and for the last few years, you've started off with low amounts just to prove to people that it's possible to start with small amounts and roll them up. Now that you've proven that, doesn't that mean now with the larger bankroll that you'd be able to grow it, multiply it much quicker than in the years past?
Well, before I had the Mirage that would let me bet anything I wanted, as long as I played in the casino.
You don't plan on playing the casino?
No,
right?
no, I'm not a casino player. I don't like it.
But with multiple accounts at different sports books, MGM, etc.
Bet straight. I feel like we'll be able to bet 25,000, 30,000 a game.
Yeah.
Pretty easily. Yeah, in fact, I know we can. We spread it out.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah.
A lot of people are anticipating where you're going to take this run, so be very closely followed.
Yep.
Rooting for you.
Yeah. Well, thanks, champ.